I would like to invite our second keynote speaker, Professor Chien Chou. Professor Chou is now a chair professor at the Institute of Education Center for Teacher Education, the chairperson of Research Ethics Committee for Human Subject Protection, and the director of the Office of Academic Ethics and Research Integrity at National Tung University in Hsinchu. Professor Chou Research Institute include e-learning, information literacy, and research ethics. So now let's welcome our second keynote speaker. Please join me in welcome our speakers. A big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Zheng, and all the guests, and the speakers and all guests, ladies and gentlemen, and good morning. I'm so glad, and it's such an honor to be here to share what we have done about the research ethics education in Taiwan. Oops. Excuse me. Here's the outline, and I will talk briefly about what, why, how, and what we have done in the past about 10 years, and give some concluding remarks. And first of all, the importance of research ethics. We all know that the research ethics is the baseline for all research behaviors, and it protects humans and animals. And it supports the trust among researchers and between research communities and the public, and ensures research integrity and quality, and so on. And recently, Taiwan research communities, as well as government agencies, have fully realized the importance of research ethics. Sometimes it's a very painful experience. And we also have the concern about whether we have adequate related policy, regulations, and management, and whether we have our researchers and students have enough training on research ethics. I said painfully because we do have some big high-profile cases in the past few years. For example, in 1914, our Minister of Education stepped down because of the peer review ring scandal. He himself did not do anything about it, but his student did. And in 2016, the president of National Taiwan University decided not to continue his term because he was involved in several papers with fabric data. He himself did not do anything about it. But recently, we have another prestigious scholar, Dr. Chien, working in Ohio State, and academic Sinica has some fabrication. So we asked the question: How does Taiwan government promote academic research ethics by the needs and those cases, shocking cases? And how do Taiwan academic research units or institutes establish the mechanism? And how do researchers practice research ethics? So we asked the question at the national level, institutional level, as well as the individual level. And how I can work on come back to that later. And last year, because of all those cases, and the Department of Higher Education in the Ministry of Education, they have a new handle principles and also new requirements. The training, especially the training programs. So I will emphasize from now on. I will emphasize on the training requirements. We know that the main purpose of teaching research ethics is to enhance research sensitivities and their awareness of the issues, and create opportunities for discussion of those issues among researchers. It used to be a secret one. It's more like a gossip one, and it's something you cannot talk about it. And also the research ethics training establish institutional culture and research climate for responsible conduct of research. And hopefully we can reduce the violations resulting from insufficient individual knowledge. And every year in Taiwan we have 55,000 master students and about 3,500 doctoral students they are the research newbies. Are they ready to engage in responsible conduct of research? And the most importantly, are they aware that their publications, probably their dissertations or theses, will be kept in the ETD repository and be available for open access forever? So we ask the readiness question and also the awareness. And they are new, our graduate students are new research newbies, but they are very, very good at information and in terms of the information technologies. Do they understand how to use resources decently in a legal and in an ethical manner, and practice? So we ask the question about the knowledge and skills. And about 3 years ago, I and my PhD student have done a small research about graduate students' RCR-related misunderstanding. For example, they have some misunderstanding about the authorship, research data management, and the originality in research, for example, the self-plagiarism, and also the publication practice. For example, they said duplicate submission or piecemeal publication are sometimes acceptable. And several years ago, I also done another small research about students' misunderstanding of using digital library resources. And here are some their statement. For example, digital resources should and can be shared without any limitations. Or downloaded resources are legitimately authorized and permitted. They say once I can download, it should be okay. Otherwise, the system should block my downloads. And all educational use is fair use. And any downloads by student is permitted as long as they have paid the tuition. So this is a pay once package. We found there's no clear policies or guidelines for good examples for research ethics education in Taiwan. And research ethics was taught through individual faculties monitoring in their class, in their lectures, or sometimes the department or school has some conferences, seminars, workshops. And the most important, we don't have enough teaching faculties and learning material in Chinese, while there are lots of learning materials online or in English. Therefore, the Ministry of Education initiated a big project called Educational and Implementation Mechanism of Research Ethics in Taiwan Higher Education. It started from the 2014, and now we are in the second phase. The project goal is to offer a first set of systematic, comprehensive, and free Chinese research ethics training content, and to set up a Center for Taiwan Academic Research Ethics Education, we call it AREE. It's an online learning platform or repository or portals for all organizations and self-learners. And we help to develop and promote the education mechanism for higher education students in Taiwan. Now we broaden the target audience, become all the researchers. And it is based on the co-share, co-creation, co-share. we group about more than 50 experts in this field to write the content, and then another group to digitize all the contents, put it into the online materials. And the instruction, those learning materials can be used for a variety of teaching environments, for example, blended, face-to-face, or flipped classroom. We also build a learning management system with it. The model we use is called ADDIE, that's Analysis, Design, Development, Implementation, and Evaluation. It's iterative models to ensure the feasibility, scalability, appropriateness, and cost-effective of this project, and as well as our course content. Here is the course website. This is the pages, and we collect everything inside, including all the statement, regulations, all the policies, everything. There's a case bank, and also the books and all the related website, workshop, learning materials, and everything. For example, here we put all our animations into the YouTube channel, and we link to the ORI office in the United States and their learning materials. Here shows some books we collected, a long list, and we make an introduction to each book. The design principle for the courseware, we respect domain-specific and multi-perspective ethics principles and behaviors, and we provide authentic cases and scenarios relevant to researchers' life. And we use a lot of multimedia to present the content and embedded activity for student engagement, since this is an online course mainly. So as you can see, some of the anchor instruction, case studies, interactivity, and formative evaluation and instant feedback. Let's just show you some of the multimedia. And the course we provide complete, as I just mentioned, we provide complete systematic instructional courseware unit in traditional Chinese, but easy to translate into the simplified Chinese. There are 18 core value units in Chinese and in English, since we have so many international students, they do need the materials and various advanced units. And each length is about 20 minutes, so a regular pace, so it's not too heavy load cognitively. And each unit has the content and also the quizzes. Here is the core value. We have 18. As you can see, we have some introduction, we have some definitions, government, professional norm, government regulations. Then we talk about the misconduct, including the definition, FFP, and also the self-plagiarism, and put a lot of emphasis on the academic writing skills, quoting, paraphrasing, summarize, referencing, and authorship. And then we talk about the laws and regulations, including the copyright laws, the Personal Information Protection Act, the privacy concept, and the practice for human subject protection. Then we have some one unit on the research data management and the conflict of interest. We do have some advanced units for different areas, and for some faculties, like how to use the budget or the money, the research money. And we have some units for IRB or REC applicants and board members. We start to do the undergraduate, including why can I cheat? Here shows just a typical screen. Here's the manual, here's the learning content, and here this one is called Think About It, and you can, we present a case or a scenario. You have to choose yes or no. That's just for the interactivity to engage students. And here we have the laws and everything. Here just to show you some of the multimedia we used, like you can vote and see what other students, other learners or users to vote for a given scenario. And here is the comics, and use all kinds of illustrations. And sometimes we use the animations or comics, A or 10 or more, to show a case. The item bank is very important for us since it's a required course and we have to make sure students have learned effectively. So we use this kind of BIB design. We could have more than 1,000 questions and put it into blocks and booklets. So it's very difficult to cheat and also download from the website. Well, we are ethics courses, and you cheat on our test, and then I say we fail. And also we have since this is an online item ban, so we have to make sure we control the exposure rate, and employ different theoretical, the classical test theory and also the new test theory, and to make to ensure that the difficulty or the discrimination and everything. And here shows the test. We have almost 32. After you finish the reading the 18 core value, we give you a 32 or 34 exam, something like this. It's a multiple choice. And we do have a learning management component into it. So for each school and for each department, so they can monitor their students' learning, and also some of the functions to just reduce the administrative workload. Here you see you can check how many students have taken the course, passed the exam, and something like you have some infographics to show you. Although we are a learning course, but we do encourage the multi-use of the course unit. You can use as a full online course if you don't have the teacher, you don't have the course, or you can integrate a blended e-learning course like a flipped classroom. Or you can, our material, any instructor can use our material for their traditional face-to-face course. We have a PDF file you can use and revise on your own and use in your class. In the past few years, we have supported several universities to offer standalone research essay course, or as a unit integrating into their research methodology course, or integrate their professional essay course like engineering ethics, business ethics, counseling ethics, and so on. And actually, they are good because there are so many courses supported by the teachers. And since most of the courses are small classes, have in-class discussions, activities, they give a the result is very good. So although we provide all the online learning materials, but we do support the face-to-face courses and also the blended one. And the output of the project, so just for your information, there are more than 300 institutions in Taiwan, and we do have so many universities, including the police, or the Navy, and we have more than 100 research institutes in Taiwan. And now it's more than 80% of the universities and 70% of the research institute join the project. And we have 144 universities with your graduate programs, and more than 70% require their first-year graduate student, master's student, and PhD student to take our zero credit online course. It's a required for graduation. And up to when I prepared the slides, and we have so many users, and some of them are self-registered, most of them are teachers or researchers, and there are lots of visits in the first 8 months. And the most important is 82% of the universities or research institute require all their faculty and researchers to have RE education. They don't have to use our material, but they have to do some training and have some training for everyone in those institutions. And here just show you, this is a Taiwan's map of Taiwan, and we have all around Taiwan, and for their graduate program, also some of for their undergraduate programs, they are required. And this slide shows you how we grow. And at the very beginning of in terms of the universities, in the very beginning, we have very flat line here. Not until the National Taiwan University scandal. And people start realize and shocked. And so more and more university participate in this project. But not until our Ministry of Science and Technology, they have amendment for their research project. If you want to apply my research project grant, you have to do something. Your institution have to do something about it. So, and last year I just mentioned our Ministry of Education have new principles. So suddenly our line go straight. And another one show you how many self-registered learners we have. And in the very beginning, we have 0. Then we open for registration. It grows very slow. But until the scandal, and until the government new regulations, suddenly we have, in 2 years, we have about 5 times more. That means, in Taiwan at least, government mandate work best. Okay, so the concluding remarks. Our projects help Taiwan government promote academic research ethics by the needs. So that's at the national level. Our project help Taiwan academic research units, institutions establish their own mechanism and requirements. So that's at the institutional level. And also we help researchers implement, practice their ethics through education and instruction. So that's at individual level. And we do have some reflection on our education and instruction. First of all, individual learners' motivation engagement needs to be enhanced. They need to be more motivated. And e-learning is not the only choice and may not be the best choice, but it is one of the workable solutions presently in Taiwan. It works so far, but we want to do more delicate. And for online instruction, content is the king. It's always the king. But the instruction design, all the interactive activity design is very critical for learning. In the face-to-face classroom teaching, we are so happy to see those instructors use a variety of teaching methods and assessment methods to facilitate their learning. And the future plans, based on our experience, we propose the ideal model for the training is start from undergraduate. Since undergraduate, a lot of undergraduate go to graduate programs in Taiwan. And also undergraduate, they will take, for example, a capstone project where there's a research component inside. So we want to make sure they know how to do some research. And deep in my mind, I hope they can, we can start from the high school, at least the writing part, how to do the quoting, referencing, paraphrasing, and so on. And the general, we propose that you should have, the student should have the general qual and discipline-specific content, and have better in an online and face-to-face classroom format. And also, in the future, we will devise some cross-device platform for a portable device, and maybe the smarter design and personalized learning. And we will have this. We will continue to do more contents. For example, QRP and so on. Hopefully, I'm thinking that maybe we can put the ETD into our content, and continue to do the research efforts. We make this promotion project is a research intensive and research support, and attract more young faculty to engage. And our final goal is to continue to help the government, help the research institute to promote the research ethic education and have better availability of trainings. And we would like to have more international cooperations and visits to make Taiwan as a trustful partner in the global research communities. and to increase the Taiwan research capacities and quality and make contribution to human knowledge production. And simply put, while you work very hard on the ETD, and we try our best to ensure they are good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Professor Chou.